All right. Welcome. So it's our last Earth season class already. We take a break next week. On the 4th, we don't have class. Um, and then we'll come back for metal season for the autumn. And it's going to be great. It's lung and large intestine. So we'll experiment more with the breath work. Actually, Julie, I do think you're ready to do the form with the breath. So Mom, we'll do breath today. Okay. Excellent. Okay. But first, we'll start by pulling up some earth energy. So as we do this for earth energy, we're going to like pull it up through our feet and let it wash down our bodies. Breathe in and pull up. And let it wash down. We're pulling up good, clean, pure earth energy and letting it just take everything out of our body, our energy field, our heart and mind that we don't need to have there. Pulling it up and washing down. Up through the ankles, knees, hips, spine, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and the top of the head. And up that spine, up the neck, all the way to the top of the head, and wash it down. Breathing in and out. And one more time in and out. Beautiful. All right, so this will be the Peaceful Dragon Rising form, including the breathing. All right, take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, look down. Breathe in, bring the head up. Breathe out, look up. Breathe in, head to center. Breathe out, tilt to one side. Breathe in, center. Out, tilt to one side. Breathe in, center. Breathe out, turn the head to one side. Breathe in, center. Out, tilt the head or turn the head to the other side. Breathe in, shift your weight into one foot, turn one foot out. Breathe out and bend at the waist. Breathe in, pull up, rolling up the spine. Breathe out, flex your knees and extend your fingertips. Breathe in, shift your weight to the other side. Breathe out, bend at the waist. Breathe in, roll up your spine. Out, knees, fingertips. Breathe in and circle the arms, straightening up. Breathe out to hug a tree. Breathe in, push the palms to the ceiling. And breathe out, let everything relax down. Breathe in, shift your weight to one side, balancing on one foot. Breathe out, shift your weight. Breathe in, pick up that other foot. Breathe out, relax. And now you can breathe naturally, and we'll swing the arms. There's a section here where there is no particular breathing because we're whipping our arms around, and that just demands breathing however you need to. Now let's deepen this with a pivot and a weight shift. Tapping that shoulder gateway. Very nice. Okay, let's wind it down. Wind it on down. We're continuing to breathe naturally as we roll the shoulders back. Big and slow shoulder rolls. One more. And we'll roll it forward. And shake it out. Shake it out. All right. Continue to breathe naturally. We're going to turn one foot out and shift our weight into that leg. Pick your other foot up and rotate that ankle 10 times in one direction and 10 times in the other direction. And when that's done, set that foot down at an angle, shift your weight over there, pick this foot up, and we'll go 10 times in one direction and the other way. And when that's done, step forward with that foot, shift your weight forward, bend those back toes. Oh, very nice. And set that back foot down, shift your weight back, pick the front toes up. We're going to stretch down the front leg. If you can reach, go ahead and rub that liver 3. Breathe into that stretch, relax. And let's come on up and switch the feet. We're going to move forward, weight forward, bending the back toes. Oh, very nice. And shift your weight back and stretch down. Breathe and relax. All right, come on up. And we'll switch the feet. Shift your weight forward. This time we're going to point the back toes, release, relax all the weight in your hips and legs down to the earth. And put that foot down, shift your weight back. Hips push back and we lean forward for a nice stretch in the calf. Just keep breathing. And let's come on up and switch the feet. Weight forward, pointing the back toes. Relax and release. With your upper body becomes nice and light. Your head top is lifted, your chin weighted. And set that foot down. And push back the hips, lean forward for a calf stretch. All right, come on up. We're going to go back to parallel and shoulder width. And there's going to be breathing. All right. Hands in front like a great big bowl. We're going to take just a breath with no movement to start. We're going to breathe in and out. And now as we breathe in, we're going to push up, push down, gazing at the upper hand. And release, breathe out. And breathe in, and we'll do the other side. And release, breathe out. Bow and arrow, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Round the toes. Breathe in as you come up the back of your legs. When you get to your lower back, look up and breathe out. Okay, breathing in, we're going to put our feet in position for snake creeps down. Breathing out, the hand goes down. Breathing in as you come up. Breathing out, bring that beak to the back. Breathe in, switch the feet. Breathe out. in as you come up. Make your beak and breathe out. Breathe in as you switch the feet, and out as you sweep the grass. In to switch the feet, and out. And breathing naturally, rub your kidneys. Whew. So that last part especially goes a lot quicker when you're doing the breathing. We're not lingering over the movements, we're getting through them, right? um, and if you wanted in your own practice to do some of these movements like press up, press down, because you're not spending quite as long in the pose, you can repeat it. I would say up to 6 times. There is a point of diminishing returns with energy work where you can get a little mixed around. And especially if you're new to breath work, you want to start slowly, maybe aim for 3 repeats and build up from there. But how did you feel about the breath work? Yes. Right. The first time you try it with the breath work, you're like, oh, that's naturally, that's kind of what I was doing anyway. We're just putting more of a rhythm to it, right? Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. And I think it helps with the overall focus on relaxing into the various stretches. Um, Anytime you're focused on your breath, feels a little relaxing. Yeah, very nice. Okay, well, it is my plan to put multiple versions of that Peaceful Dragon Rising on YouTube so that you can pick your poison any given day if you want it nice and slow or if you want the nice breath work in there. They're both good. Okay. I'll get that done any day now. I
Yes,
promise.
enjoy.
I borrowed a friend's GoPro, so anything is possible. All right. So for our movement today, I have chosen something from the Wild Goose form, and it is called appropriately for stomach and spleen nourishment harvest season. It's called looking for food. And it's a wild goose. We're walking like a goose. But it's also engaging directly with earth energy, as much of qigong does, but always good for us here in earth season to take our earth energy. And the movement is one of the walking ones, so we do it several times in a direction, and it's going to be one of the ones with a little pivot step. And what we're going to do with our arms is swoop up earth energy and then relate it to our heart center. And then we're going to take it and actually use it to nourish the meridians in the leg, right where stomach and spleen meridians are. So it's kind of a holistic earth element friendly exercise. Let's break it down. So we'll start with the footwork. We have done a step like this before, but it can be a little tricky, and we'll go over it. So we're just moving in a direction. Yeah, that's great. When your foot is in the back, it should be at an angle for stability. When your foot is in the front, it's mostly going to be touching with the ball of the toe on the floor. Then when we swoop down, that heel sinks down and it can kind of bounce back up as we make this movement. And then when we come back up, that heel just rises back up. Once we're done doing our arm thing, which we'll go into detail on, we pivot that foot on the ball of the toe and then set it down at an angle so we can bring this foot up and do the same thing on the other side. Pivot, step, step, pivot, shift your weight, and step. If you are in a limited space, as you know, many of us are at various points, depending on how much stuff we've left on the ground in the living room, you can do this in place by, we'll have our foot out, foot forward, pivoting, and then just tucking that right behind this foot and stepping forward, pivoting behind and step forward. And you'll find your rhythm with this. It gets very natural for me because I'm always doing this in a confined space at home. I love coming into the studio where I can actually walk. But yeah, the feet are fairly aligned front to back. Like there's not really any space between your feet since you are taking such a nice big step. So when you pivot, you kind of have to like pull it around. Pivot and pull it around. All right, great. So those are the legs. And with the arms, in between our motions, our arms are coming up like this, palms forward. We're ready, just open to gather as much as we possibly can. And we're actually pulling the shoulder blades together in the back, which is stimulating the bladder meridian, which is just good for stuff. The bladder points in the back actually correspond to other organs. Like the bladder points, they're called the U points along the spine, are used to access other energies. It, why is beyond my meager understanding, but stimulating those by pulling our shoulder blades back is just always a good thing. We're getting a lot of bang for our buck in a movement like this. Okay. And when we swoop down, we're going to bend at the waist, try to engage your abdominals here, and just take those little hands and scoop up some earth energy. Bring it up to sort of show it to your heart. You don't stand all the way up. You're just kind of getting ready. And then you're going to kind of cross your hands and like let that energy sweep down your legs. And then come up and you're open again. So this motion, you can make it big. You can cross your hands here and then sort of cross them back. You can keep it simple and go like that. You can find your own way with it. I believe there is, some sort of perfectly quintessential correct Qigong way to do it, but we know that's what's most important is your intention. And you as a Qigong practitioner get to decide what works best for you. So don't over focus on the details, but as we do this, we can do a practice one where we swoop down and our heel sinks down. Gather your energy however you see fit. Your heel comes up just a little as you show this energy to your heart, and then it goes back down as you swoop that energy over your spleen and stomach meridians, and the heel is back up, and we're open, and we're happy. Beautiful. Okay. So in the Wild Goose form, this is repeated 7 times, starting and ending with the left foot forward. None of that is particularly important in gentle Qigong. We're not doing the Wild Goose form. We're borrowing parts of it. So if you're doing this at home, you can do it as many times as you want, but do pay attention to how your energy is starting to move and when you feel like you've had enough, because you can overdo anything here and you have, feel a little out of whack. So we'll start. There's, of course, fancy footwork and different things we would do in the form to get into this position, but we're just going to start like this. And we're going to swoop down, heel goes down, gather your energy, pull it up to your heart, and sweep down your leg, and come on up. Now pivot on that toe, shift your weight, and step, and swoop down, look for that food. Oh, you found it, and feed yourself. Up, pivot, shift, step, and swoop down, and nourish, and up, pivot, shift, step, swoop down, gather, and nourish. Up, shift, step, gather, and nourish. And pivot, shift. I'm not going to go anywhere. And gather, 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 and nourish. Pivot, shift, step. Last one, gather and nourish. And we're up. Beautiful. Looking for food. So as physical exercise, this is pretty good too, right? Because we're using our core. We're we are doing a good hinge movement here, right? Because we're pushing the hips back as we go down, getting in the nice cardio sort of effect as well. My, fire element is running high here. Feel free to grab a little water after that. An energizing movement. Uh, but we're also in our energy realm doing some important work in terms of getting that generative earth energy in the places it needs to be. The legs are so important. Um, obviously, obviously, okay. So the same number of meridians run through the arms as through the legs. It's 6 each for the total of 12. But the upper body is only 2 elements because the fire element has 4 meridians. So most of the year we get to focus on our legs, which I love because they're doing so much for us all the time. They are supporting us with like some of the ricketiest equipment you could imagine. These knees are a joke of evolution, right? But they're making it happen. And if we feed and nourish them and tell them that we are grateful for all of their work, they'll take care of us. Oh. All right. Okay. So for acupressure today, I have been inspired by all of the people at work who are sick, and we are going to do the immune system acupressure flow. So this is a good one to do throughout like flu season, to try to ward things off, which like fingers crossed. But then when you do get sick, because we all get sick, and it's not it's not a lack of virtue as much as qigong kind of talks that way, like if you just keep yourself energized properly and do your movements and your acupressure, you're purging all external toxins. It's like you're just going to get sick. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But when you do, I love doing this flow in a hot shower where like because it's so good when you have a head cold to like take a hot shower and let that steam just clear everything up. And then I think I talk about doing my acupressure points in the shower probably too much, but it's good. And when we're going to rub our kidneys a lot, and then you just kind of get them under the hot water and you just give them a nice little rub. And then sort of in the morning at night, whenever you're sort of struggling with your immune system, it's a good thing to do. There are 9 and ultimately 10 points in this flow, 3 in the arms, 3 in the torso, and 3 in the legs. And then we close by connecting our thumbs to our heart center, which is the 10th point, the magic point. Because the heart center, being the center of the chest, is also a good point for opening up the chest when you have something upper respiratory. Most of the points here have a general purpose of energizing, strengthening the chi and the blood, and clearing and harmonizing. Is like they each have their own little special thing, but they are very overlapping in this sort of general focus of strengthening and harmonizing, which seems on point. Okay. So this is another one that I'll probably make even a more proper video of so that we can do it throughout the fall and winter. We start in the torso, and then we'll do the legs, and then we'll do the arms. In fact, maybe you and I should have a chair. we'll be right back. Yes. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, so this whole thing can be done seated. There's nothing particularly um, standy about it. And then when we do the leg stuff, I'll get in my little chair. So to start, we're going to start with kidney 27, which is the last point on the kidney meridian. And it's in a hollow, mine aren't very prominent, but like just under the clavicle. You've got it.
Mhm.
And we're actually not going to kind of sort of like rub this like a usual point. Kidney 27 responds to a gentle touch. So we're going to hold it and embrace it like we are embracing a friend. And just sort of plant your feet on the ground here because kidney 1 is down there, and just focus and breathe on this lovely kidney 27 point. Because we're not rubbing, you can't count to 36. So sometimes I'll just count breaths, 3 breaths if my breaths are pretty slow, 6 if I feel like I need a little more breath. um, and then we can release it. Now, the next point is actually bladder 23 in the back, but it is this point we hit when we rub our kidneys. We're also hitting bladder 45, but it's not important because there's 2 rows. It like goes up and down the back and then up. It's a crazy meridian. We'll talk about it in winter. um, so this bladder 23 point corresponds to the kidneys, as bladder points correspond to other things. And this you can do 36 times or just until you feel like you've opened something up there and you're good. Okay. And this next one is a little odd. We're going to use our lower dantian. So find your belly button and go a couple fingers down. We're going to overlap our hands over our dantian as we've done ever so many times. But in this flow, we're going to apply a firm pressure there. You're not going to be able to keep this up for 3 to 6 breaths. Just do your best and release it. Whew, yeah, all right. And that's the torso points. Kidney 27, bladder 23, and this is technically CV6, conception vessel 6. It's not on a organ meridian, it's on the conception vessel. Let's not worry about it. Okay, and for our legs, you will be absolutely shocked to find we're going to rub stomach 36. So find that by whatever means you prefer. Oh my goodness, the other day I walked so much. For some reason, I don't even remember. I walked so much. And at the end of the day, I sat down and I'm like, I need to rub my stomach 36s. And I put my hands down here and they like called to me. Like I put my hands there and the stomach 36 points were both just like crying out to be rubbed. It was the fastest I've ever like satisfyingly found them. It was hilarious. Like, wow, something to this one, right? So this is a nice brisk rub of stomach 36. 36 times. It's complete coincidence. Or if you're in the zone with this, people say you can rub any given point for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and that's acceptable. Don't overdo it. Don't go more than that. And again, don't do this flow more than 2 or 3 times a day. But if you don't feel like counting, sing 2 happy birthdays or whatever, whatever floats your boat. Okay, the next point is kidney 3, which is another point that we frequent. Find your ankle bone on the inside and move back towards your heel so that you're in the space between the bone and the Achilles tendon, and give that a nice rub. I like to rub it kind of along that tendon point. This is a very useful point for a lot of things. One of the things it's good for is actually back pain. Something about it, it pulls the pain down so that you can release it to the kidney one's right there, right? Ready to release anything you need to release. So I like to get that one. All right. And does anyone want to guess which point we're going to do next? Yes, we're going to do liver 3. Liver 3, right up between the first and second metatarsals until you get to a little place where you can't go any further. That is liver 3. And just give that a nice rub. Julie was just on vacation in the very walkable country of Spain. And so she was doing these points to support those legs, right?
Good for her.
Good for you. All right. I'm going to move to my kidney 3 on the other side. And once again, feel embarrassed about my hip flexibility in this leg. That knee is so high up. My figure 4 is atrocious on this side. Somehow knowing that doesn't make it better, you know? If only, if only. All right, I'm going to move to my liver 3. Getting that good immunity. All right. Feels right. Feels good. Oh, and I'm going to stand again. And I always love standing after rubbing my legs because I'm like, oh, it works. It's so helpful. So now it's time for the arms. And here's another unconventional way of stimulating a point. We're going to do large intestine 11, which is on the elbow, kind of in between the front and back of the elbow, like right there in the juicy part of the elbow. And we're going to stimulate it by plucking it, by taking it and plucking like this. And here's the funniest part, we can do both at the same time. It's a silly one, but it's doing its job. Large intestine 11. And I think, we're focusing on the kidney meridian for its like overall health, and also you need to stay hydrated. Kidneys are helping you, and they're filters, they're flushing things out. Large intestine is also about like flushing things out of your system, so helps to work on that. And then this next one is a triple burner point. And luckily, we all know what the triple burner is and are not like, that's not an organ, because it is. It's just spiritual. We're going to go to triple burner 5, which is about 3 fingers down on the back of the arm, but in that center line. These the arm ones are always so hard to show because your wrists are rotating around each other. So so you can just give it a nice little rub flat like that. And I find with any triple burner point, I end up wanting to kind of like brush it this way when we're clearing the system, where we're getting things out. That feels nice. I like that one. Triple burner 5. All right, I'm going to do the other side of that. Oh, yeah. There are several triple burner points kind of lined up in this area. So I go ahead and take pretty big strokes. Just get them all, why not? Yeah. Oh, such a good meridian, the triple burner. Helping us out. And the last one, the arms. Yes, large intestine 4 in the fleshy part between your thumb and your forefinger, right, like a little bit sort of closer to the finger, but like right there. It is essentially in the same place in the hand that Liver 3 is in the foot. I don't think that's an accident, but I don't know why that's the case. I'm not a qigong doctor, which is a thing. But we're rubbing large intestine 4, um, liver 3, and stomach 36 are all in here. They're the big 3 points for whatever ails you, because they are essentially replenishing your chi, strengthening your blood, and keeping things harmonized. So that's good for everything. We're calling in help from some other friend points here, but the big 3 points, I'm going to switch to the other side, by the way, um, are always here to help you. Like, basically, I did have someone say, like, for her arthritis, she was asking me what would be good points. I'm like, I'm not a qigong doctor, but try the big 3. And she said it helped. She did it every day for a week, and she's like, it helped.
Wow.
So, you know, we'll take it. We will. We just will. All right. All right. So now to end, we go back to the torso. So I'm going to do it in reverse. Master Young does it in a slightly different order. I like to do it this way. We're going to not do the Dantian again, but do the kidneys, bladder 23, or just your kidneys. You don't have to worry about the terminology. Feeling nice. Feeling very open back there. All right. And now, making sure that my feet are nice and grounded, I'm going to go back to kidney 27, that warm embrace, and just breathe. All right. And now I'm going to put my hands together and connect my thumbs to my heart center. And that's the immune flow.